Hey guys, what up, Viper here, and today I'm gonna give you pretty much a advanced tutorial with hopefully a lot of beginner level knowledge that maybe not all of you guys have known so far, have figured out so far about Illuvium Private Beta 4 and how you just kind of play more efficiently and also just have more fun because maybe you didn't know a lot of really big quality of life increases to the game. Now, I want to start with the biggest quality of life increase for everybody in the game is how to get around the game quicker, how to optimize movement in the game. So first of all, I can press the I button, right, and then I see what items I have here. And well, I do have Supreme Jetpack and I do have Supreme Boots. All of this that I'm gonna show you works with the lower versions as well. You're just like not as fast, right? So what is the trick? Fundamentally, you hold down W, you press the space button, you double tap shift, and then you hit, I don't know what the button below that is called, once for the gliding thing, and then you jump super far. And the thing that's like in addition to this in the recent updates, right, you can slide a little bit and then you can jump again. Now if I wouldn't have bumped into this wall, I probably would have landed somewhere over here. And you can see on the map, this is quite some distance. You can probably just easily travel this. So why does this work this way? Well, basically the idea of the movement in the game is that when you do any of these actions, like activating jetpacks or activating boots, you see this field below them. It kind of takes the movement speed that you had and propels you further with it while adding a little bit to it. It's just the idea on how it works. Same like sliding, and it takes the speed from sliding and adds it to the jump. That's why you're jumping so fast. It's just how the movement in this game works, and yeah, this is going to help you just traverse the world way faster. So again, one last time, you want to have essentially the highest speed possible. How you get that? You're walking, you're jumping, double, triple tapping this, you go short glide, then you go. You can put a short slide in between, you regenerate a little bit of energy. And yeah, you can see I'm not very good at this, but I get across the world very fast doing it. Alright, let's look a little bit at the forge over here. So you see there's a bunch of filters and a bunch of stuff going on, forge, deconstruct. Okay, let's just break this down a little bit so everything is like easier and more accessible. If you want to craft any higher stage items, you pretty much always need something that's called like component, right? For weapons it's weapons, for drones it's drone, and so on. And then they have another prefix. In this case here we see common. That is because it is a tier 0. Now, filters for tiers, filters for stages. So if you want to make, for example, a air weapon, right? You can filter for this. You have a tier 0, only shows stage 1, only shows air. Why is only showing stage 1 pretty nice? Well, because you can't immediately craft this or this anyways. So you just see all the 5 and you can be, okay, which one do I want to make? The same for the other tiers, and with weapons, like the element filters, obviously very nice to have. Outside of the element filters, you can also just go by tiers and then by stages. So this helps you pin down what you want a lot better than trying to find it this way. TLDR, right? Now, in equipment, well, there's not a whole lot of equipment here. With ingots, it's kind of exactly the same thing. And let's, for example, click on this here. You see, okay, you need one X-Til ingot, one Ruptium, one Gadolix, one Nav. It's kind of hard to remember like, where to find and what not, but you can see this one little, I don't know, knot on the top. So this means it's a tier 1 item, and here there's 3, so it's a tier 3 item. Here there's 4, it's a tier 4 item. So then I can be, okay, I needed one tier 4 ingot. Oh, there's only 4. Okay, I remember I needed one X-Til. I needed 2 of the tier 3 ones. It's Ruptium. Okay, only 3. That's easy to find. And then I needed, I don't know, what was it? 5 Lav and 2 Gadolix. I kind of forgot it, but I can remember, okay, this was a tier 5 item. So I can easily click these 2 buttons. Oh, okay, yep, 2 Gadolix, 5 Lav. So you just like get used to filtering with tiers and stages, and then everything is just a lot easier to accessible and easier to remember. Then for shards, I think the interesting thing for a lot of people is probably like, oh, what do I do with master shard and so on? What's the most efficient? I mean, you can just like calculate that, but I think the TLDR on that is, it's like the same. Like you can deconstruct any of the shards and you get it costs you roughly the same amount of Hyperion, roughly the same amount of shard dust, no matter which shards you deconstruct. Now, what does deconstruct mean and do and so on? The components to make something, how do you get components by deconstructing something? So here you see I do have a fire shift, for example. I can hit the deconstruct button and I'm gonna get one common weapon component. And if let's say I want to forge a stage 2 nature weapon, I need a common weapon component. Stage 2 fire weapon, common weapon components, all the same. So depending on what materials you have, you don't have to make 2 fire cav 1 deconstruct to make a fire cav 2. You can make 2 of any stage 1 tier 0 weapon. The tier and the stage is the relevant thing for these components. The same for drone, which I think is pretty interesting because there are multiple different ones and they need, for example, different essence. Or in this case, they even need different of these items, different ingots. So you can optimize, okay, maybe making this is, you have a lot of extra materials for these things, even though you want the mining one, but you want the stage 2 mining one. So you make 2 stage 1 harvesting deconstruct to make a stage 2 mining one. That is another nice small optimization thing, but that is maybe not super obvious. Alright, another thing that you guys might not have known so far, you can change your drone. So on this menu over here, you can see, well, you can change like the body shape of your ranger, and I guess you can also change from a female and male. But you can also change your drone, which, well, this is just a cosmetic thing. It has no impact on your gameplay, but changing your drone does have impact on the gameplay because they have different abilities when you're on those character runs. Now, the tutorial did explain to you drone abilities and things like that. Let me show you something it did not explain, I believe, that we covered a little bit earlier when... Oh, this looked weird. And I told you that you can make a weapon and you can equip the weapon in this slot, for example. Because it gives you one extra ability to capture Illuviums with. Alright, so when I just went to a stage 0 run, for the purpose of showcasing this, right? So you guys know if you hold down 1, you get to this like quick firing burst rifle thing. You hold down 2, you get the charge shot thing, right? Charge shot is for mining ore and plants, and it does a little bit of damage to Illuviums. And this one is just more efficient at getting them. Now, at the bottom left of the screen next to the minimap, you can see, well, there's like this mouse button, mouse wheel thing, that can also be used to switching between the weapons. And then there's F and G next to it. Now did the Illuvium run away? Find another one over there. So F is the drone ability, right? Now I can press F and my Mozart throws this lasso and slows the guy. Okay, cool. Now you see the weapon is overheating here. If I press G, now my weapon isn't overheating anymore, and I can just keep firing pretty much infinitely. And that G button is dependent on your weapon. If you look at the weapon description here, it says Omega, and below that it says Overworld ability. And then it says here, causes primary ammo to deal 1 increased damage and homing for 0 seconds. I think I don't know if the descriptions are 100% accurate on all of these things, right? But essentially you deal extra damage, you have homing missiles, and you're also not overloading anymore. Alright, let's show this again. You see an Illuvium, right? Shoot at it. Almost at the limit. Press the G button. Homing any distance. Super strong. Okay, I think another interesting tip for just optimizing a little bit what you do in your overworld runs is obviously you press M, you press H, you see the heat map. I think that is part of the tutorial. But what I tend to do when I want to be, I don't know, just like fast and optimize things, is you see here these Ergon rifts. They activate once you're below, once you're at 100 or below energy. You can walk through them and they give you more energy and you can farm more things, but then this like dome is gonna close in, so you have only a limited time to use that extra energy. Now what I do to optimize this extra energy time and that I actually can use all of it is you can here press the T button which summons a teleporter, or let's Mozart your drone, summon a teleporter. And now I can deplete all my energy and then very quickly teleport to this. And boom, I get my 300 points back. And then if you're really struggling finding things, if you're, I don't know, oftentimes having issues with this dome, just leave some loot next to this up, and then you can immediately go, okay, shoot, 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 shoot. Well, if you don't suck like me, you don't miss. And then it's really easy to spend all the extra energy. Now you have more than one teleporter, so here I would usually go, okay, place one here, place another one here. And I mean, usually in a game, right, in a normal run, I personally would just gather everything. Then I click through all the 3 teleporters really quickly, and then I see, okay, where on the map can I just spend the leftover energy. And that is me, because I don't really struggle with the dome closing. If you do a little bit, then just leave the loot across these rifts up and leave that for last, basically. Alright, I think these are essentially the advanced tips that I can give you right now that kind of extend the current tutorial that you guys have seen. I'm gonna do a lot of more in-depth things and guides on which drone ships to go for, what alluvial teams, what to pay attention to in the overworld, how to just use all these interfaces as well, right? Because here's again a lot of filtering things. That's really nice. You can also check what you obtained in the runs, just so you have a bit of a better oversight on what's going on, what are you actually farming, what are you actually getting. I think I'll leave you guys to it. I'll leave you guys to exploring the game and figuring out a lot of stuff for yourself. And I'm gonna hit you up with all the optimization guides and alluvial teams and drone ships and so on. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and that this tutorial kind of thing helped you guys out to just enjoy the game a whole lot more and be able to just play more, have more fun, and so on and so on. Hope to see you guys in the next one.